Okay, I think we'll get started. So welcome everyone to the PHA Regional Hubs 2.0 program launch, a long-awaited launch of a program that first started in 2019 and has been working to evolve over the past year. And we're extremely thrilled to be able to share with you this program, Regional Hubs from the Planetary Health Alliance, and what this will look like in the future. So I appreciate you taking the time today to join us as part of the Planetary Health Annual Meeting. And we are excited to share. So I'll show you our agenda for today. We'll start with introductions. We'll then move into the structure of the PHA Regional Hubs. And then we'll have an exciting Regional Hub leaders panel of 3 of our leaders, among many leaders that we have. We'll go into breakout sessions for each of the hubs, and then we'll come together from those breakout sessions and have an opportunity from each of the different hubs, people who are joining us today from all over the world who will be part of this program and part of the Planetary Health Alliance. And then finally, we'll close with next steps. So first, who is the person talking to you right now? My name is Jeremy. I'm the PHA Senior Program Coordinator. I work on this Regional Hub program along with many others. I also work on partnerships and strategic development, as well as our upcoming research development program as well. But I'm not alone in this. And so I'd like Max and Sandeep to introduce themselves. And first, Max, if you want to introduce yourself.
Definitely. Hello, everybody. My name is Max Zimberg. I'm the PHA's Community Building and Outreach Coordinator. I've been at the PHA almost 2 years now, and I'm calling in from Boston, near my home city of New York City. I'm really excited to be here with all of you. I've been working closely with Jeremy, Sandeep, and many of you on this call to develop the Planetary Health Regional Hubs, and it's just so exciting to see what was really an idea and a grassroots effort come into something that is gaining cohesion and excitement and organization, and is a seed that is ready to start sprouting. So it's very exciting, and I will hand it over to Sandeep.
Hi, good morning, and thanks very much for you guys joining us here this morning to discuss Planetary Health Hub 2.0. And I'd like to fellow at Planetary Health Hub Alliance. And I've gotten significant support from Kern as well. Most of you all know Kern Phillip, who would have been part of hubs over the last year or more, in making sure that we move it forward. And I'm very thankful to Jeremy, Max, and Kern for us moving this process forward. So Jeremy, back to you.
Thank you, Sandeep. And most of all, the people who have been leading the hubs and who will become the future leaders of the hubs, if you want to use Zoom's chat function, and introduce who you are, which region you're coming from, what country, and if you're part of an organization, what organization you're a part of. And feel free to post that in the chat as we continue forward with the presentation. And so Sandeep, I'll actually pass it to you because Sandeep has actually been working from the origins of these hubs, which developed around 2019 at the Stanford annual meeting. And so I'll have Sandeep share the background and origin of these hubs, as well as what the development process was leading up to Regional Hubs 2.0.
Yeah, so thanks very much, Jeremy, for that important introduction and guidance in this moving forward. So the Planetary Health Hubs conceptually started at the Stanford meeting, as you said, and with the significant support from you guys and a lot of our institutional members, we were able to start the establishment of hubs, which we intended to promote, mobilize, and lead an inclusive transdisciplinary team out within the regions. We expected it to be local in nature because planetary health is very global by its impact, but we need the local people on the ground. And I really have to give a special thanks to people like Jenny, Melvin, Kern, and the number of early persons that jumped on this, Prof. Omar and Odipo, starting in the African Hub. Now, initially we started very much on passion and enthusiasm. But thanks to Jeremy and the team, we have moved along a process to make it a lot more inclusive, one, and two, to expand the reach and scope of how these hubs intend to move. And hence we got to Regional Hubs 2.0, where we did a consultation process with existing hubs, existing member institutions. We had them sit into general meetings. And besides the meetings, we sent out questionnaires and surveys to get your feedback on how best we can make these hubs as relevant as possible to your region. And in that process, there has been an outcome. And I will pass over to Jeremy now, who will discuss and describe that outcome as we go forward.
Thanks, Sandeep. And so as Sandeep mentioned, through all this collaborative effort and grassroots work to develop this hub since we started conceptualizing this not only at the Stanford meeting, but also in June 2020, thinking about this new model, the goal was to develop this terms of reference that hubs around the world, part of the PHA, can use to really help form what these regional hubs will look like. And so this terms of reference is now available on the Planetary Health Alliance's Regional Hub website page. You can download it, and there's a lot more detail than we'll be able to go through on today's call. But the four main categories within this terms of reference are regionalization, membership and engagement, governance, and communications. And I'll briefly go through this with you, but definitely for more details, feel free to download this terms of reference. So regionalization, with the conversations we had with existing hubs, alliance members, and also with trying to align our work with United Nations Sustainable Development Goals regions, we developed these 10 hubs. And so you might be thinking, well, with all these 10 hubs, which hub do I join? So within the terms of reference, you'll be able to find a table that lists regional hubs by country for your reference. And that methodology was done referring to United States Nations Statistics Division. But I really want to emphasize as we're sharing this that we encourage all participants of these hubs to self-identify based on their own geographic and cultural relevance. We're not trying to chop up the world based on how we think it should be structured, but we're really trying to just create some programmatic organization to it. As we all know, planetary health has no borders, and these regions do not imply our opinion, considering status or legitimacy of how communities group themselves. We simply want to provide structures so that you all can work on a regional basis to put planetary health into action. And so as you look at these hubs, when you look at the terms of reference, feel free to join more than one hub, as many hubs as you feel are relevant to not only where you're based, but also the work that you do. So you may be based, for example, in Europe, but you might be doing work in East Asia. So definitely feel free to join more than one hub. And as we'll go into more detail, we have an exciting launch of our online community platform on Hilo that Max has done a lot of work on, and we'll be having a side session on that later today. So go to the agenda and join that as well, because that will be the main area where we'll be hosting the communities of these hubs. Each hub, as well as a global community group for the hubs, is hosted on Hilo. And so we also have this regional hub branch model because we realize, and in conversations with a lot of our pre-existing hubs, that some of these areas are rather large. For example, Sub-Saharan Africa is a very large region, and there's people who are doing amazing work in East Africa and in West Africa. So in some cases, we may want to use what we're calling a branch model, where, for example, there might be an East Africa branch or a West Africa branch. But so while we want to address those contextual needs, we also want to encourage to use as few branches as possible to really maintain cohesion with all the regions, and also to maintain everyone working together to be able to accomplish more together rather than separating us apart. So then moving to membership and engagement. Overall, we really want to encourage depth of engagement rather than breadth. So as you're able to join more than one hub, we really want to have people really dig in deep to the work that's possible. And so as you may have heard already in past sessions, or maybe this is your first session for the annual meeting, we've now excitingly launched individual membership for the Planetary Health Alliance. And what this is you're able to join HILO and join all the groups that are there, including the regional hubs. And if you all can just please mute yourself. This is a Zoom world right now. So individuals can freely join and immediately participate in these regional hubs, but organizations, as in the past, must apply for PHA membership to be recognized as members of the hub. And this is simply just to maintain cohesion among our alliance membership. So you can join via the HILO groups, the 10 hub groups, as well as the 1 global group, and use this for coordination. So within your own hub and region, you can network based on the countries you're at, based on the type of work you're doing, whether that might be land use change or infectious diseases. You can also invite others in your region and your networks of your organizations or the people you know to join. And eventually these hubs will be able to schedule regular meetings, use social media, develop a member email listserv, or even create their own newsletters. And so there's really exciting opportunities for engagement. And as you become part of these hubs and become leaders of this movement, really encouraging you to use these ways to bring people in. The more, definitely the merrier. And the PHA team will also collaborate with you to host convenings for networking, forms of collaboration, as well as importantly, exchange between hubs. We really want to grow inter-hub networking because there's a lot of lessons that we can share from each different contextual circumstances that people bring from Europe or bring from Sub-Saharan Africa or Oceania as well. So moving on to governance, this was an area that a lot of members asked for to have a bit more structure. So we'll have a nominating leadership process. And so all hubs, once we start working on this with each other, must nominate at least 2 individuals to act as regional hub co-leads to ensure equitable and distributed governance across the hub. And one of those individual co-leads should be based at a host institution that is already a PHA member organization. And that's for purposes so that we can work directly with you on really helping to grow and expand the regional hub. And importantly, we also want to create some rotation type of mechanism, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, so that leadership can be distributed among different organizations and individuals. And to do this, we want to have a transparent election process that will be designed by hub members, because we recognize that there's different contextual circumstances depending on the region that you live in. And we don't have a one-size-fits-all solution. So we really want to work with you on what works best based off of the region you're in. And as I talked about with the branch model, if there are branches formed within that regional hub, we'd like to have there be a co-lead that can represent that branch as part of the overarching hub too. So what do co-leads actually do? What are their responsibilities? They help guide the strategy and activities of the hub. With assistance from the PHA, they help steward membership, communications, and engagement processes. They help moderate on HILO, the online community platform for that hub. And they'll also represent the hub at international level, inter-hub PHA matters, and meet with PHA quarterly, just so we can stay in touch with the activities and amazing work that you'll be doing on the regional level. And so I just want to emphasize that this is an amazing leadership opportunity. And I also want to, as Sandeep mentioned, on this call, we already have amazing leaders who have stewarded the regional hubs since the forming of them in 2019. And so I thank them for their amazing leadership. I hope they continue to be amazing leaders in these hubs. And with all the new people who are here, we really want you to take on these leadership opportunities as well. And in terms of developing a governance model, hubs will co-create their governance model together based on, as I said, their regional context with support from us at the Planetary Health Alliance. And all these operations will be documented so that in the future, as new leaders come on, we have a history of what's been done and what's worked and how we can fix things in the future. And these governance models will be stored at the Planetary Health Alliance, submitted to us so that we can work together with new hub leaders as they come on. And I know this is a lot of information, so I just want to let you know that we at the Planetary Health Alliance will be doing getting started calls with each regional hub after the annual meeting to help you put together the organization of everything I just talked about, so we can really get you started on a solid footing moving forward, because our goal is not to structure the hub for you, but as I said before, with the contextual circumstances you have, really just be able to give you a container to work off of. And finally, with communications, there was a big ask from our alliance members and pre-existing hubs to have streamlined logos. And so we worked with a wonderful designer who's helped us design logos for each hub, as you can see on the top here. And these, you can see these on Hilo, the online platform for each of the regional hub groups. And we're also have, if you go onto the Planetary Health Alliance website and the regional hub page, you'll be able to see a website that will be able to support the hub activities too. So currently some of the hubs have Facebook pages, have their own websites, and we really want to amplify your work. And so we'll link your work onto our website as well, where thousands of people come through. And finally, I've been talking about this online networking platform. What does this actually look like? Well, you can see an example of the PHA Regional Hub's global group here. And once you go on to and register for Hilo, you're an individual PHA member by that point, and you can navigate to this page, join this, and you'll be able to see all 10 regional hubs and explore all the work and information that's going on there. So I'd now like to pass it back to Sandeep, who will introduce our 3 regional hub leaders, and they'll give you examples on what hubs have been doing and maybe some inspiration on what can be done in the future.
Hi, and thanks, Jeremy. This morning, we are very fortunate to have 3 really great individuals, unique individuals who have pushed and made sure that planetary health is developed and move forward in their region. The first I'd like to introduce this morning, I'll give the short bio on all 3 and then they will go straight in, is Professor Donald Simeon, who currently is the director of the Caribbean Center for Health Systems Research and Development. And Professor Simeon is also a professor of biostatistics. But among all of that, he's currently the Caribbean Planetary Health Regional Hub. And Professor Simeon, besides that, has a very long and distinguished career within the Caribbean and outside the Caribbean in the field of statistics. He's also a policy training and development person in the Caribbean Public Health Agency, at which he worked at for over 2 years. And he also served on the Caribbean Health Research Council. So Professor Simeon brings a wealth of knowledge. Next, I would like to welcome Melvin Ayango Otieno. And Melvin is currently a Planetary Health Ambassador Next Generation Fellow. And Melvin has done and inspired a significant body of work and collaboration among our planetary health bodies across the world, especially in Africa and outside of Africa, building a large number of next generation fellows. And Melvin is well known for the great work she has done. And finally, I have Anne Testa, I got it right. And she is based in France and has been working with Planet in moving Planet forward. She's a nurse, but also as an MPH and currently a doctoral researcher investigating inequalities in HIV testing in Sub-Saharan Africa. And also Pearl has done quite a lot of interprofessional development and has created the Planetary Health Network of Young Professionals, which is leading planetary health in the Southern European hub. Thanks very much. And I pass over now to Professor Simeon.
Thank you, Sandeep, and good afternoon, everyone. I truly appreciate the opportunity to share what you have been doing at the Caribbean Hub of the Planetary Health Alliance, which was established in 2020 to serve as a regional leader in planetary health by generating and disseminating knowledge, building relevant skills, and creating public awareness and behavior change. This will be accomplished through research, education, training, and outreach, and the sharing of transferable solutions and policies across the Caribbean. Slide. The vision of the Caribbean Hub is safeguarding optimal health for the Caribbean people and Earth's natural systems. Our mission is to build an active, collaborative, interdisciplinary planetary health community of practice to inspire, influence, and guide Caribbean people to tend and protect ecosystems through policies and programs for sustainable and regenerative outcomes. Next. We have identified 5 strategies to really implement that mission. And the first is to build a diverse and collaborative planetary health research community and agenda that includes development of innovative solutions that inform policy. The second is to define and build region-wide planetary health education and training programs. The third is to develop systems, processes, and resources to support collaborative research, education, and communication efforts. The fourth is to generate awareness of and demand for planetary health resources from the general public and policymakers. And the fifth is to develop a long-term model of operation and funding for the Caribbean Regional Hub. Next. Consistent with those strategies, our activities include the conduct of surveys. So for example, the members of the Caribbean Hub are currently engaged in a research project, Climate Year, which looks at youth psychological response to climate change in 4 Caribbean countries. We also be developing databases for education and training initiatives, funding sources, etc. We will be developing communication pieces explaining planetary health for different audiences. We'll be establishing and maintaining a presence on social media platforms, creating a constantly open channel of communication towards aiding in the preparedness of citizens to address climate impacts. And we'll be generating awareness and demand for planetary health resources for the general public and for policymakers. Next. These activities are expected to support regional preparedness for climate change, for climate impacts on health. I'd like to just focus on the 4th bullet, which is the development of planetary health massive open online course, which is really critical for us building the type of capacity that we need in the Caribbean to address planetary health. Next slide. We see the engagement of international partners and organizations as critical to the work that we are doing. So for example, the PLAN survey, which has been conducted in collaboration with Imperial College of London, that is the climate care survey that focuses on youth. But I would like to focus perhaps more so on, well, in addition to a project entitled Strengthening Climate Resilient Health Systems in the Caribbean, funded by the European Union. And some key partners are involved in that. For example, the Pan-American Health Organization, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology, and the University of the West Indies, which has a very innovative project led by Professor Aura, that is Climate Change and Health Fellowship Program for Youth Leaders. Next slide. And finally, we really see the importance of ensuring that private sectors are involved in our work, and we'll be continuing to host initiatives such as the Planetary Health Conference that we held in 2020 in close collaboration with both public and private sectors. Indeed, I really appreciated the guidelines that Jeremy gave at the start, just before my presentation, in terms of the membership of the hubs, and we really intend to include the private sector as we expand our membership. Over.
Thank you, Professor Simeon. Melvin.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. I will narrow down to focus on the Sub-Saharan Africa, specifically Planetary Health Eastern African Hub. For us, we have 18 countries that are involved. So our hub aims at stimulating regional community building and also providing education for transformative action and issues on influencing policy making during this emergency of our time. Next slide, please. So for our hub, we are about 50 plus members, where we members meet through activities and networking events. And we also have resources that we are using, like social media platforms, webinar meetings, websites, and we also do write some blogs. And then the communication channels at the moment, we have been using email and also social media and YouTube channel as well, and also WhatsApp communication channel. So some of the universities and colleges that are involved are from different countries within Eastern Africa that I can't mention here, but they're from different countries like Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, Ethiopia, Burundi, Rwanda. And also there are several research institution members that are involved, like International Livestock Research Institute, Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institution, Kenya Medical Research Institution, and also International Budget Partnership, and also Consortium for Advanced Research Training in Africa. We have currently also been able to engage more of the indigenous communities as well. So we have been working closely with some indigenous community from Kenya, and are included like Maasai and Rois community, Tugen, Kalenjin, and also Luo community. Next slide, please. So these are some of the local and regional networks that we have within our region. And we started off in a small way from the University of Eldoret while I was a campus ambassador, but now we've expanded our networks within our regions up to people from Madagascar, Mauritius, Sudan, and so on. Next slide, please. So for us, we've also been leveraging global networks. Like our recent activities have been able to be supported by our collaborators from Germany, and also women leaders for planetary health who have immensely supported our recent activities. And also we've been working closely with other hubs like Planetary Health Northern Europe Hub, coordinated by Jennifer Cole. And also we've been involving different global institutions in our activities. Next slide, please. So some of the activities that we've covered so far as from 2020, we started off by membership mobilization of different people, starting from students, academia, communities, researchers, organizations, NGOs, artists. And also now that in 2020 COVID-19 evolved, we initiated a joint COVID-19 resource platform with the Planetary Health Northern Europe Hub. And also we've collaborated with German Climate Change and Health Alliance in the activities on the Planetary Health lecture series that are available on our YouTube channel. And we've also fostered interactive workshop sessions on project building. And also we've been getting support from Trans-Regional Network in this planetary health education aspect. So in 2021, we recently several students participated in advanced course on health and climate change that was supported by University of Munich. And also we've been creating planetary health awareness and practices for transformative action. For instance, our recent activity, we involved even the artists, whereby we visited the indigenous community to try and understand what impacts this climate change issue could be from different areas. So we actually did a project on communicating the impacts of climate change through art and dance that will be shared at the festival event. And also we've been supporting youth-led interventions. Now that we currently have several campus ambassadors within our region, we've supported them through their webinar platforms that they invited some members to participate in. And also we've also been participating in the annual meeting that has just started today. So we have shared a poster, and also we have organized a panel discussion and also a festival event. And moving forward, we are also planning to have a research work together with the Planetary Health Northern Europe Hub, a research work on the role of wet markets and backyard livestock in supporting nutrition of preschool-aged children in Kenya, and challenges that came from COVID-19 exposure. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Melvin. And finally, Pearl.
Yes, thank you so much, Jeremy. So hi everyone. I'm going to briefly present to you today the Planetary Health Southern European Regional Hub. So the hub started last year and is currently being led by Planet with an H in the middle, or the Planetary Health Network of Young Professionals, which I co-founded last year during my term as a Planetary Health Campus Ambassador. And the hub and Planet kind of grew together side by side. So we help in advancing planetary health through our 4 pillars. So education, advocacy, creativity, and collaboration. And currently, Planet or the hub is currently led by students and professionals from diverse backgrounds and origins. And the hub is still young and evolving, and its structure is a little bit different from the other hubs that we've seen. So currently we have individual members, but hopefully in the near future, we'll have groups and institutions in the family. Our members meet during events and networking activities as well. Members can voluntarily join different teams. Like, for example, they can join writing and creative teams to cultivate their skills. And they can also choose to join the outreach team, for example, with the mission of expanding the hub. So our resources include free webinars, sustainability, lifestyle videos, blogs. We also have newsletters. And in the future, we're envisioning to have research collaborations as well and mentorship programs. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the network started in France with only 6 members. So from France, Cyprus, and the Philippines. And now we have 45 plus individual members from Europe and around the world. And everyone can also freely join and engage in other hubs. Next slide, please. So from 2020 to present, we have accomplished and hosted the following projects and initiatives. We had 3 free webinars, a photo advocacy competition for nature to also engage the public. And also we have blog posts where our members could freely express themselves. And this started as a way to for everyone to cope during the COVID-19 actually, and it's still continuing. We have also launched our website and virtual office where our members could freely hop in anytime to meet or socialize. So we're using Gather Town. We are also pleased to share that we created an independent advisory board composed of 7 wonderful individuals who are experts in planetary health and environmental health to guide and advise us regarding the direction of the network and the hub. We have also collaborated with other organizations such as Time or This Is My Earth, Plant Technology Alliance, Alliance Santé Planetaire France, and also we had inter-hub collaborations with North European Hub led by Dr. Cole and Eastern African Hub led by Melvin, where we contributed blogs for the COVID-19 resource pack. And in addition, we were also invited to introduce our community to the Youth for Environment Europe and to our Spanish-speaking community as well, the Brazilian Planetary Health Club, and recently the University of Peru, where our Secretary Marisol Iglesias and our advisor Alejandro Molina Garcia introduced Planet in Spanish. So we hope to reach more individuals and groups by removing language barriers. So for 2020, next slide, please. Sorry. So for 2021, so this is just the timeline of planned activities. So you can see here we have opportunities for our members to interview and network with planetary health experts. In July, we will also have a zero waste challenge for members and the public and many more. And after this meeting, we hope to be part of the new European Hub family and to reach more individuals, groups, and institutions. And to get to know more about us, you can visit our website and social media accounts. Thank you.
Thank you, Pearl. And so thank you, Professor Simeon, Melvin, and Pearl, as wonderful examples of the organically derived hubs that emerged from 2019 as part of the PHA Regional Hub 1.0 program. And we look forward to your leadership as you become part of the PHA Regional Hubs 2.0 within these list of 10 hubs that you can see. And so now would be an exciting time for us to go into breakout rooms based on the hub that you just want to meet some people and talk about these prompts that I've listed on this slide. So when you go into the breakout room, definitely introduce yourself in the chat, your name, if you're from an institution, where you're from, the country, and then a couple questions to discuss. What do you hope to gain from being part of your regional hub? And also, what do you hope to contribute to your regional hub? It's really about networking with each other. A lot of people are doing activities that maybe someone else in another country is doing as well, and you might not know that, but once you see that, you can form these interesting connections that you've heard from these other hubs, and they're doing amazing work because of the connections that they formed. So I'll be stop sharing my screen and forming a breakout rooms. And you'll see in these breakout rooms, there's a number and the name of the hub based on that room. And you can choose, let me check if Marie, are you able to see a hub to join?
No.
No, right. If you go to breakout rooms, the button, you'll see them there.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, so if you go to the bottom of your Zoom and there's a breakout room button, you can choose where to go and break out into that room in the hub that you're interested in.
Got it. Thank you.
The world of Zoom.
Thanks, all. See you soon.
It's crazy, it keeps moving.
So Jeremy, why am I not going out to my room?
Yeah,
Or
me too.
Did you press join?
I don't see a join.
No, I don't see a join.
Did you go down to the breakout room button?
Yeah, and I can see my breakout room number 6.
Yes.
Maybe because we were kind
But when
maybe host.
when I
maybe.
click on it, I don't go anywhere.
Do you see a blue button that says join to the right of the name?
You have to
No.
go to the right of the name.
I can maybe assign you.
I can't go to the right of the name.
I also have a problem with that.
There's no join button, Melvin?
There is, but there is no list of different breakout
Oh,
rooms.
now Jeremy, you put me in it. That's great. Thank you.
Melvin,
wait.
do you want?
This is room 6, East Asia, but it is Africa. Okay, that's okay. I'll go to this.
Melvin, do you want to go to the Sub-Saharan Africa?
Yeah, I'm able to join now.
Okay.
So Jeremy, I'm in Africa, right?
Yes.
Central and West Africa, South.
Sub-Saharan.
Sub-Saharan Africa. Right. I'm trying to join that now. Oh, Prof. Aura has joined that group actually. Okay.
Would you please join? Would you please take me to Sub-Saharan Africa?
Okay.
Okay, then that's fine now.
And everyone else who's left on here, you should see on the bottom of your screen a button for breakout rooms, and you'll be able to choose the breakout room you want to go to.
Jeremy, I'm back.
Okay. Which room are you supposed to go to, Marie?
I'm supposed to be in number 6, which I think is supposed to be East Africa, not East Asia. But also when you put me there, no one was there. So
There is no East Africa, it's East Asia.
Oh, it is East Asia. Okay. Yeah, no one was there.
Okay. Where would you like to go in the world?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can go to room 6, East Asia.
I don't know if anyone will be there because of the time zone difference, but.
Oh, wherever you think you need me.
Okay. Why don't you wait there for like 5 minutes?
I will.
And see if anyone comes there.
Yeah. I'm going to need you to, oh, there we go.
So everyone left in this, if you go to the bottom of your Zoom bar and press breakout room, you can choose which hub to go to. If you need any help to go into a hub, please let me know. Does anyone else need help going into one of the breakout rooms? Vanessa, where would you like to go? Okay, you should see to go there now. Does anyone else need any help to go to a hub?
Hi, Jeremy. This is Marie. No one was in there, so I came back in case I can be of assistance here.
Okay, I'm just for some people who are having trouble.
Sure, I'll just wait.
Okay, Joao, you should be going to Latin America Hub. In the chat, you can let me know which hub you want to go to and I can assign you there. Yeah, Marie, it looks like there's no one from Middle East and North Africa today. Central and West Asia, Southeast and South Asia, there's one person. East Asia and Oceania. So it makes sense given the time difference.
Right.
So we'll actually, Renzo sent me an email today. We'll host after the annual meeting. We'll do a similar thing for those time zones.
Great. Joanna. Oh,
Yeah,
and
it looks
Ariel.
like yeah. So they can come back to this.
Okay. Okay, so Joanna. Great.
If anyone on here would like to go to one of the Regional Hub breakout rooms, you can either go to the breakout room button at the bottom of your Zoom, or you can let me know which one you want to go to, and I can move you there.
And also, I guess if more generally, you just have some questions about the regional hubs, or you're not sure what they really are, or how you should interact with them, certainly we can begin a discussion as well. Jeremy, I thought,
Any, do you think there's anything that needs to be further clarified during the group discussion?
you mean afterward?
During for participants of this meeting.
Yeah, no, I thought you did an amazing job. I thought everybody did.
Yeah, great job, Jeremy.
Thanks. There's
Yeah,
a lot of information in that to be covered. So the TOR itself is more to try to get people just to get to the right places.
Sure.
Yeah,
and just so you know, I had one, oh, sorry, Marie.
Go ahead, Joanna.
I was gonna say, there was one woman from in our regional hubs, but she really wanted to chat with Melvin anyway. And so I just moved her to Sub-Saharan, but she knows that her proper hub is the MENA group.
Okay.
I thought it was really helpful to hear from Donald, Melvin, and Pearl Ann, just to see the breadth and variety of kinds of activities.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's really remarkable. And the one thing I did think was a tiny bit confusing was is the whole European hub situation, because I hear Northern Europe, Southern Europe, and then Planet. So that was one piece that I think could be a bit confusing.
Yeah, it's the transition from 1.0 to 2.0. It's maintaining the work that's been done and the agency of that while going to the new structure. And so the hope is, as people are going into the online community and then we start having those calls with everyone together, that will come together.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really exciting.
I don't think I realized that these hubs had kind of popped up organically. Like, that's so amazing. And then, yeah, to try to standardize it across the board is a challenging transition. But I thought you explained it really nicely, Jeremy.
Thanks. Yeah, no, they've really taken amazing leadership, and there's, more leaders and groups that could have presented, but just not enough time. But, hopefully that leadership will continue into the larger hub process as well. If anyone on this call has any questions about regional hubs or would like to go into a regional hub breakout room, please just let us know. For those who just joined, I saw a couple of people just join. We're currently in breakout rooms for regional hubs. for the 10 new regional hubs. So if you have any questions for us or would like to go to a breakout room, just please let me know, or you can type in the chat as well.
Jeremy, is there a regional hub for the Ottawa, Canada area?
Yeah, so it would be North America. Do you want me to move you there?
If you would, please. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Richard. It's interesting how this powered to move people.
First, you divided up the world, and now you're
now I'm moving people. It's like the game of Risk.
Yeah. Don't let it go to your head. I know you won't. I think we just had another person maybe join us, or another two people. Or they just flashed up on my screen. This is the Regional Hub side session. And so if you've just joined, we're happy to tell you about regional hubs, but also if you want to be moved to a breakout room where conversations are happening, please let us know. So Jeremy and Joanna, do you know, did Max make us individual members of PHA? Because when I tried to sign up,
I think we might be, I think that might get negated by the fact that we're moderators. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I don't know. It didn't seem to work for me. I wanted to see what the flow was. And Ariel, maybe you could try, because you might not be a moderator on PHA, on Hilo.
I'll try right now.
Okay.
I was meaning to do this before.
Hi, to those who just joined, we're in breakout rooms for the different regional hubs. If you have any questions for the hubs in general, you can ask us, or I can also bring you to one of the hubs that you want to visit. Hi, Rachel, welcome. We're currently in breakout rooms for each of the hubs. If you have any general questions, you can ask us, or I can also bring you to one of the hubs, the breakout rooms. We'll be coming back together in 5 minutes.
I'm successfully creating my Hilo account, by the way.
¿Qué pasó?
Se llevó una cosa de Cata y yo me tengo que llevar 2 paquetes.
Hi, Neha, good to see you.
Hey everyone, just popping in to say hi.
Hi, we're currently in breakout rooms, so everyone is.
Oh, got it.
But you can, if you want to go to a breakout room, we have 4 minutes left, or you can stay here with us.
Thank you. I'll stay here. I'll just be a fly on the wall. I wanted to see how things were going for all of you.
Yeah, we currently have, there's people in Sub-Saharan Africa, Europe, Southeast and South Asia, Latin America, and North America.
So exciting.
Neha, you might be, oh, is she still here?
I'm still here.
Oh, I don't know why I don't see you now. Oh, there you are. You've changed from your name to you. That's why I can't. Wow. All right. Our first session early this morning was a wonderful side session and had almost 80 people join. And then our members meeting had around 80, I think, as well, 75 or 80. And the regional hubs, Jeremy, I didn't see who all.
We had 83 was the highest.
83, so yeah, pretty good.
It's probably reduced a bit once we went to the breakout rooms. But.
That's great, especially for a Sunday and
a pre-meeting day. And
yeah,
so on. Yeah, no, so I'm really delighted.
Yeah. Awesome. And I've been seeing a lot of activity happening on Hilo too. So that's
yes.
Neha, I just made my account and my request to join is pending.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to let you in. just you wait. Jeremy isn't the only one with powers.
How long generally is the turnaround for that pending request? And do people, if they leave the page, they'll get an email to join?
So you just
Sorry.
so moderators get notified right away when a request comes in, and so it's just really as fast as we can get to them. So during this meeting, a couple of us are just on it and trying to respond as quickly as possible.
Okay, I'm going to start bringing out back people. Well, now we know how people choosing breakout rooms works.
That's always a tough one.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hello, welcome back. We're just waiting for everyone else to come back to the main room.
Okay, I was just about to talk in my session, in the Latin American session, but I think it took me out from the session.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, it automatically pulls you back to the main room.
Okay. Okay.
There'll be more opportunities though, especially if you join Hilo to connect with everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I think we have majority is back.
Great, welcome back everyone. I know the process to get into the room was a little confusing, but I hope you had great conversations. So we ended up having people, because of time zones, it's tough to get everyone around the world together at one time. So we ended up having people from Sub-Saharan Africa Hub, Europe, Southeast and South Asia, Latin America, and North America. And so we'll spend the rest of the time, about 20 minutes or so, hearing from a person. It'd be great to hear from a person from each of those conversations about the prompt. So what was discussed, and just so we can hear from the different contexts, it would be wonderful. So first, what about Sub-Saharan Africa? Is there someone from that group who could share?
Diane Bibi will share on our behalf.
Great.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Diana B from Kenya, and I belong to the Sub-Saharan Africa extensive from the Eastern Africa Hub. Okay, from our group, we were able to discuss the expectations that people expect, what people expect to gain from the hubs. I'll share very quickly. I'll share them in point form. Number one, they expect to open up networking from different countries. Number two, to have thematic or topical issues to discuss that are relatable within the Sub-Saharan Hub. Number three, to undertake projects that will help in solving planetary health issues. An example from Ayola in Nigeria, who already said that he already has 2 correspondents and he's expecting to get more people to collaborate going forward. Number 4, advocacy on community health. And number 5, to share the aspects from each country across the whole Sub-Saharan Hub. Number 7 or 6, they expect to share knowledge and experiences and use the information gained to address planetary health concerns. Next, they expect community level engagement, that is to reach out to communities at the ground and take their thoughts and consider their suggestions and empower the communities at the most local level. Another expectation is to blend from the East African zone to the West African zone and to mobilize the whole of Sub-Saharan Hub to go ahead and mobilize people and governments and policymakers so that they can understand what role they can play in solving issues across planetary health. Another one is to get resources from the whole of Africa and come up with a synergy where there'll be sharing of knowledge and experiences. Another point is to have children, to incorporate the voices of children and work with the youth. And from the discussion, we were able to conclude that people will be receptive of the planetary health initiatives because it is something that it touches on the lives of people directly. The last 3 points, to maximize opportunities and work across hubs and make the messages more effective and learn from each other. Yes, and way forward, people expect to work on, conduct research on infectious diseases and the impact of climate change and biodiversity loss on diseases, especially zoonotic diseases. And lastly, to present the challenges and strategies on how to address them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana. I see a strategic plan coming together already. So that's fantastic. Does the Europe Group Regional Hub want to present what they discussed?
Yeah, excuse me, I would have liked to...
Go ahead, Odipo.
I would have liked to add just a few points. What we expected to contribute by reaching out, we expect to reach out to other sectors in Africa, and we also expect to find ways of rapid transfer of information that we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
representing as well.
Great, that's excellent. Thank you for all that work. Jennifer Cole, would you like to present?
Yeah, so we started off really with discussing with regional identity and whether the kind of the regional hubs were the obvious breaking down of the alliance into smaller groups rather than kind of, and the other alternatives we talked about were academic field or career stage. So for instance, the Planet was for young professionals, and also language, that actually there are different languages represented within the Planetary Health Alliance, being easily able to connect with the other people who speak your language. Actually, it might be another one. So, but what we seem to be falling down is that people do still want regional conferences and meetings, and to have community-based events and mechanisms put in place to be able to actually meet in person. But the feeling was we'd probably move to something that's a bit more hybrid, which makes meetings more accessible, and we'd perhaps in the future have fewer in-person meetings, but still, and perhaps kind of more online ones. But that we definitely still wanted the opportunity to meet in person, and feeling that kind of nothing beats meeting in person, and that the regional hubs allowed that to happen. In terms of what people wanted out of the hubs, there were kind of a few things that came out. It was kind of, unsurprisingly, networking and the opportunity to kind of form research partnerships and research consortiums, particularly kind of finding specific experts in other fields where you know that you need a specific person to work with. Mentoring was important, and particularly around the exchange of educational experiences and research opportunities, and a need to experience and learn about others, what others are doing, around what can I do on my country based on what's happening in others. Everybody kind of was very modest what they wanted from the consortium rather than what they could give to it. But obviously all of those are mutual. We would mentor each other. We would share best practice education experiences with each other across the country. But there was generally, I'd say, this kind of feeling of slicing of the Planetary Health Alliance, not only regionally, but also kind of by subject matter or by career stage. And so there would be the groups within this that will inevitably overlap, and kind of going back to that very complicated systems diagram. We will probably only make it more complicated as time goes on.
Yeah, thank you. And planetary health is so, it's global, it's transdisciplinary. So there's so many ways to think about this planetary health community that we have. And that's why HILO online community platform is so exciting, because we can have these thematic areas too. And so this type of systems thinking is, if you talk to Max on our planetary health team, she loves that. So, and that HILO is just a really amazing platform for that to develop. And so it'd be great to think with all of you about how to move forward with that. So thank you for sharing. And then I know I saw Max and one other person from the Southeast and South Asia group. Do you want to present? If not, that's all right.
If Krishna's still with us, it was almost midnight.
I know, time zones. That's all right. We can move forward to the next hub. We'll be doing, for equity purposes and really engage everyone, we'll be doing a similar thing after the annual meeting for those who were in time zones that this didn't work. But what about the Latin America hub? Does someone want to present from there?
Carlos, can you do it? Oh, I can start while Carlos took notes. Can you?
I can go, yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
So part of what there was a lot of questions more than a kind of a emergence of hard ideas. But Antonio kind of kicked us off by stating what we have in common and what are some of our common struggles, and just trying to also kind of have us understand our common groundings as Latin Americans, right? There was a big part of the conversation was also how do we involve more indigenous voices, indigenous knowledges in Latin America. That there was a predominant presence of Brazilians in the Latin American group, of course, naturally because of where the meeting is being hosted. And the concern is around the protection of indigenous knowledge, the Amazonia, and what that means politically as well. So we also veered the conversation to how political we have to be as a group. How much do we have to push for regional instruments? Like we talked about one called El Acuerdo de Escazú, or the Escazú Accord, which is specifically for Latin America, which has been debated hotly in many countries. So how much should we get involved? Renato had a conversation, explored the concept of innovation and technology, and how we can also just think through what that means for us as a hub. And kind of as a closing statement, we had kind of how do we just move from the theory to practice, right? How do we share more amongst each other? Yes, but how do we then just start implementation and not leave this in a conversation, but actually in implementation? So as a hub, I think we have a lot of questions on how do we move forward, and I hope with time we'll be able to solve some of these and regionalize and share our common concerns, but also our common successes.
Great, thanks, Carlos. And I think that's why we call this the launch. It's the very beginning. Oh, Antonio, did you want to fill in something?
Addition to that is that our region is also a huge region in terms of size and diversity. Although we have two languages to start with, and have to cope with that is not trivial for both. For one to understand the other is not trivial, but it's feasible. Instead of using English, which I think it's strange to say the least, as our common language, but we're doing that using Portuñol, which is a mixture of Portuguese and Espanol, or Spanglish, if you prefer, or anything. But yeah, one important thing I think is that because we are online here in this event, it has been possible to see a lot of people which were not present in the other 3 events of our Planetary Health Alliance. So I think we'll be able to connect much more people than we had previously in our hub, and probably for the other hubs as well.
Great, so thank you, Antonio. And finally, the last group is North America.
We are a fledgling hub. So basically we spend our time doing asset mapping. Who's in the group, what assets or connections we potentially bring, and how do we start moving forward. There was a wonderful suggestion to bring in the mayors and the governors because they oftentimes get a lot more done at the local level. Also, about children again. So that was a common thread and theme of how we educate our children, and really beginning with the people that are engaged and then moving out, because it can feel overwhelming if you take on too much. So those were our takeaway points for our first initiative.
Great, thank you, Teddy. And thank you all. If there's anything else, feel free to post it in the chat. And I'd just like to go over kind of next steps to continue all these discussions and conversations that were really important. And as I was saying, this is the launch, so it's the very beginning. And these conversations will continue moving forward with each of the hubs and on the online community platform on Hilo. And as we do, Sandeep and I will be doing these getting started calls so that we can really continue these conversations and help create more further organization and leadership that's decentralized from us, the Planetary Health Alliance, because each context, as we heard, is very different. And so next steps is first become a PHA member. So if you're an organization on here that's not yet part of the PHA, apply for membership. If you're an individual, join HILO, the online community platform that makes you a member, and then you can find your regional hub on there and start continuing these discussions on that platform. And finally, as I said, participate in the Getting Started calls. And so we'll be sending out more information after the annual meeting about that. And those will be really the best ways to start the organization process. And we're really looking for, especially you all who took time on a Sunday, really looking for your leadership in this process. And so finally, if I can move the slide. So for more information, go to the Planetary Health Alliance webpage for the regional hubs. There, you'll be able to find the terms of reference that has a lot more detail about everything that we tried to fit into this discussion. And you can contact us. Feel free to contact me, Sandeep Maharaj, who's our Global Outreach Fellow and really just the all-star in putting this all together from the very beginning in 2019 to now. And I just really like to thank Max, who's been critical in putting this together, as well as the whole PHA team. And also those of you, you know who you are on this call, who have been regional hub leaders and formed those regional hub 1.0 groups that will continue to be critically important as we try to move forward on a regional level. I think, as we all know, planetary health, as we said, is global, but the action and that what we've been discussing will really happen on that regional and local level. And so this is really our hope of what this initiative can turn into. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. So that's it for now. We have 8 minutes still on this Zoom platform. So if anyone has any questions or wants to share anything on the chat, definitely feel free, and we'll be here until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But thank you so much for participating. You'll see on the agenda in the annual meeting virtual hall, there's more presentations, including clinicians for planetary health coming up, as well as we talked a lot about the online community platform HILO. There will be a HILO presentation and walkthrough later this afternoon. And Max, you might have the times. I don't have those in front of me.
Yes, I believe it is 6:30 Brazilian time, 5:30 Eastern time for the HILO session. And we'll talk a lot about the platform and also give a demo. But I put some links in the chat and I'll put it again. Everything is also on our website. So you have links, you have some information about HILO and how to get there, about the regional hubs, and also about joining the PHA.
Just one quick thing, Jeremy.
Yes,
Kun, who has been working with everyone, he's here as well. So I don't know if you want, we just tell Kun or thank you. And
yes, no, sorry, Kern, I didn't realize you were on the call. Big thanks to Kern, who's been working with Sandeep at the University of West Indies and has been critical for logistics of organizing this whole development process. And everyone knows Kern's name because he's the person behind all of the emails. So thank you, Sandeep, for that.
Yeah.
Marie, did you have something?
Sorry.
Yes, I just wanted to say that the HILO session is at 4:30 Eastern time and 5:30 Brazilian time. But again, as Max said, everything is on our agenda on the website.
The agenda, and then there's also the exhibit hall where there are booths about the PHA. So you can learn more within the platform as well. Thank you all. I really look forward to the conversations that happen after today to really launch these hubs and to see where they go. It's really, really exciting.
And just one last thing, Jeremy, I'd like to share quickly for our Latin American friends. Language is an issue, but believe it or not, a member of the Caribbean Hub is the editor of this book, Challenges and Development Opportunities of the Guyana Shield, just showing how much we are interlinked. He's based in Suriname, and the Guyana Shield takes over Suriname, part of Venezuela, part of Guyana, French Guyana, and Brazil. So just to state that, you know, there are so many linkages that we can deal with and develop going forward.
Exactly, lots of future collaborations happen.
Yeah, in that tiny region, we have 4 languages: English, French, Dutch. No, 5.
And
Portuguese,
Spanish.
Portuguese
and
Spanish.
Spanish.
5 languages.
And
well, all of us have to become very not bilingual, whatever the word is for speaking lots of languages.
Multilingual, yeah. We need some kind of translator, real-time translator, not to mention indigenous languages.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, for the rest of the conference, the main events, we were able to translate the conference into, Marie, help me out here, I think Portuguese, Spanish, French, and Mandarin, with the help of some partner organizations contributing at the last moment. So it's not all of the languages, but it is a start.
Yeah, so if you feel that it's worth spreading about that to people that do not handle English well, we think it's a very good opportunity, because the panels, the keynotes are going to be amazing, very inspiring, all of them. So, and it's not, yeah, that's it.
Well, terrific. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing the growth in the regional hubs, which means just growth in the planetary health community. And we look forward to hearing your voices, for you to bring in new people and new conversations to the planetary health community, and enjoy the rest of the week. We look forward to seeing you throughout the week and celebrating with you at the end of it.
And Marie, on that note, individual membership is now open. So we now can have our individual members.
Yes. Yes, please do join.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.
You are doing so great, guys. Congrats.
Thank you, Danny. It only happens with your support. The amount of people who are coming on a Sunday is great.
I'd like from people that are here, how are you dealing with the online platform? Are you navigating well? It's how easy it is?
You're mute, Renato.
No, I'm saying just it's pretty easy, no problem.
I'll make a parallel a metaphor with as if we were in a different place, like as if you were in São Paulo, you would take some time to get to know where the buildings are, the rooms are, where the restrooms are, where the restaurant is. So kind of the same. Sure. It's just as in a point of the tip of your fingers. Okay.
Okay. Bye, Antonio. I'm gonna hop off.
Yeah, me too. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.